Let's go ahead and go to the very opening scene of the movie. It's the airport and the airplane, and the guy's like,
"You want to know the secret to surviving air travel?"
It's just like, okay, what the hell? But whenever the movie,
the guy's just so eagerly approach. You know, he's just like, hey, I see you're having some trouble there. You know what the secret is? It's like, did anybody ask you? Wait. I even wrote down in my notes, I was like, he has a gun on a plane. What the hell?
That always pulls me out of the movie. I'm like, he has a gun on an airplane. And they show the guy looking at him like, oh, my God.
It's okay, I'm a cop.
First of all, dude, I know he has a gun and it's kind of scary, but the plane landed. If he's a terrorist, he would have done it a long time ago. And, you know, whenever John McClane shows up, are you ever put off the same way I am, where the guy's like,
just type it in there.
Cute toy.
Yeah, if you have to take a leak, it'll even help you find your zipper.
It's like, cute toy, about the little touchscreen TV. And it's funny when he says cute toy about it, it's like, that's like an ancient thing there.
Yeah, it's really ancient.
Ancient touchscreen.
Even back then
CRT.
it was ancient. Oh my gosh, a touchscreen.
He's like, cute toy. And he's
it's from the future.
Yeah, Mr. McClane. I'm thinking that John doesn't get out much. That's why he thinks it's a cute toy.
Hey, he's a New York City cop. He's got perps to put away.
I always wonder, you know, later on, I still don't understand that part, but the guard who's standing by the elevators, right?
Yeah. Did
Carl really need to slide that stun grenade around the corner?
Well, he could have been a ninja guard.
Because all he had to do is go around the corner and go... But instead, it's like he slides a hockey puck, a stun grenade at him. Looks like a Hostess Ding Dong or something.
It does. It made me hungry.
But I always wonder, was that necessary at all? Because you would think the stun grenade thing is louder than his gun with a silencer on it.
Absolutely, it was necessary. You never know, that guy could be dangerous.
And does that flashbang thing that he slides, does it even exist in the real world like that?
Like that, I highly doubt it.
Like it's like, okay.
I've only ever seen flashbang canisters, never a hockey puck.
Here, it looks like a Hostess Ding Dong, but you open it up and slide it, you can stun guards with it. But I'm skipping way ahead in the movie here, Bill. So
yeah.
Let's go back. But
we're not. They haven't even arrived yet.
So, meanwhile, you know, we've got John. He's visiting his wife. He hasn't seen her in a long time. And there's the uncomfortable moment where he brings up about, like...
I guess you didn't miss my name, though, huh? Except maybe when you're signing checks.
When he says that, I guess he's just being a dick. He's being an asshole. And, like, even when she walks away, he's like, way to go, John. Being an asshole.
His pride is hurt, so he's just on the attack.
But they also have the whole setup of Hans Gruber's bunch arriving. You know, this cool like intercutting of them setting up.
Where the truck arrives, goes down the ramp, the sedan goes to the front door.
They even have that moment where all of them come together and they're all walking at the same time together.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's the shot that so many movies have done now. And I've got to ask you this, and I wrote this in my notes because I still don't know. It's been, you know, since 1988, and I've seen Die Hard a million times, right? And I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
What is Carl's brother doing with those wires? And why does he need to cut a wire before Carl chainsaws them? And then he cuts the wire and he goes like, oh my God. Like, oh, I did it just in time. It's like, you did what just in time? What is going on in the scene?
It's just a little brotherly...
Yeah, it shows that he's giving his little bro a hard time. And, you know,
my little brother with his glasses.
Oh, later on, I'll apologize to him.
Why do you have your hair so short? It should be long and luscious like mine.
Don't you think Carl was thinking that? I'll buy him a beer later and I'll make it up to my little bro and everything will be fine. So luckily, Carl has a Hostess Ding Dong stun grenade. And it
explodes with chocolatey goodness.
the cream filling traps your feet into the ground. You're like, shit, and you can't move.
I want to know how Huey Lewis got on Hans Gruber's crew.
I was going to talk about that guy. Can I just say this about that guy? He is the worst actor I have ever seen in a motion picture.
So bad.
He is horrible. Because
I don't know how he lasts until the end of the movie.
I hate to jump ahead, but that when he looks down at the gun and then looks back up at McClane in that final scene, it's the worst acting I've ever seen. He doesn't even have any lines.
No.
He's horrible.
Get that finger out of your ear. You don't know where that finger's been.
But another thing I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, but all the computer sound effects sound like Whopper from War Games.
They do.
It's War Games sound effects. They've got all these
guns and everything are great, but the computers are bad.
Yeah, the computers, it's Matthew Broderick's computer. But when Hans Gruber comes out, I always like how he has that book and he delivers a line about greed. And
due to the Nakatomi Corporation's legacy of greed around the globe, they are about to be taught a lesson in the real use of power.
And then he closes his book, and I'm like, did he really have anything written in there?
He just likes putting on a show. It's Hans Gruber, man.
And when he's like asking for Takagi, I love where he walks up and Ellis is there, and he kind of goes like, no, and he kind of backs away.
Yeah,
like,
Ellis has to shake his head that he's not Japanese. And this is the guy that negotiates the $1 million deals?
Yeah.
In a full-on Coke flop sweat.
And what was Holly thinking that they could get another guy killed instead of Takagi? Because she's like, no, don't tell him who you are.
Just stay back. Don't stand up. Let him kill some other Japanese guy.
Let that guy take a bullet. But I love when all that happens, John gets away, he's barefoot. All these great scenes, in this movie that they set up for later on, that he's barefoot and all that.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bed doing his toes and fists.
And all these stylish bad guys are like, oh, hey, oh.
I use Vidal Sassoon.
Yeah, they're all very stylish. Some of them are wearing, pretty bulky sweaters. Have you noticed that?
Well, it's 80s sweaters. And it's very cold in L.A.
Yeah, it's very cold in L.A. this time of year. So, I guess John, he sets off the fire alarm. And of course, they call off the alarm. But now here's the part with Carl's brother. And then his movements are kind of like the Terminator at that point. Have you ever noticed that?
Very, blockish.
And then they get in their fight. Well, I guess Bruce Willis isn't in that fight, is he?
He's in 2 or 3 shots of that fight.
Because
same with Carl's brother.
Yeah, it's guys with wigs on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
wigs.
if the Bruce Willis guy has a wig. He just doesn't have the same hairstyle.
Right.
The guy that's Carl's brother definitely has a wig. Because all of a sudden, at times, he looks like Captain Kangaroo. And
then he falls down the stairs, and I guess he breaks his neck.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Or maybe his wig got caught on something. I don't know.
And, of course, we know Carl's brother is dead, so he's really pissed, and he wants revenge throughout the entire movie. That's all he cares about. He doesn't even care about the money and the heist anymore, does he?
No, he just wants him dead.
He wants revenge for his brother, but his brother was a dick. He was going to shoot him. I mean,
he didn't like his brother anyways.
Yeah,
he gave his brother a hard time when his brother was trying to secure the phone lines.
Yeah, he chainsawed his wires, and the guy acted like he was a robot anyway. But I love when John McClane's trying to get away from them, and there's some cool shooting and stuff there. When they introduce Carl's machine gun, it's loud as hell. But that's when Reggie V shows up. I always wondered, what the hell did John expect one cop to do? Because he even gets out and he enters the place, and this is where Huey Lewis gets some of his best acting in the movie, Bill.
Good evening, officer. What can I do for you?
And it always bothers me where he's like, you mind if I have a look around? And he goes, sure. And he does his hand gesture way too late.
You don't mind if I take a look around, do you?
Nah, help yourself.
I've never noticed.
Everything about this guy drives me nuts.
You have
in this
real
movie.
problems with Huey Lewis.
I do. I hate him. He ruins Die Hard for me. He's the worst actor I've ever seen.
Get that finger out of your ear. You don't know where that finger's been.
But I love when he's leaving. Oh, this is the coolest part, is that McClane starts smashing the window. And then the spotter up on the roof, he's like, wires them, and the guys run down. The guys with the bushy sweater, the big, puffy white sweater runs down there.
It's just the holiday sweater.
Yeah. And this is one of my favorite parts in the whole movie, when the other guy comes in, he blasts that guy, then McClane, he jumps over under the table, and he's like... But why is the guy, like, shooting at the legs of the table, like, kind of taunting him?
I never quite got that. It's like he had to deliver his monologue.
Yeah, he's like...
No more table! Where are you going, pal?
Shoots him, like, 16 times or something.
Thanks for the advice.
I never understood why the conference table was zigzagged.
I hate tables.
I hate zigzag tables. They're ridiculous. They make no sense.
Where are you going, American pal? Watch too much television. It's like, what was your problem with Americans and TV, man?
Your table legs are too long.
Your fast food and your reality TV.
That's just problems.
Every cliche.
No more MTV, no more Twisted Sister.
But that's the best part, when he's like throws the body on the car.
I'd have to say, probably the most famous, most overused line from the movie.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Yeah, I say it all the time.
Me too.
I want a picture of that over my toilet, but he's saying, welcome to the potty, pal. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Jesus Christ.
And then we have the great introduction of Thornburg.
This is my story. I am going out there. Sam, all right, look, Sam, I tell you what. You don't want to give me a truck? I'll go and I'll steal a truck.
Hey, give us a break, Thornburg.
Eat it, Harvey.
The best part about that scene when he goes, eat it, Harvey, and the guy looks at him and go, Harvey, we're on the air.
And Harvey has to, like, recompose himself.
Yeah, it's great. Because
and it's not the only time Harvey does something epically stupid.
McClane has just shot two guys and thrown a guy out the window. This is where McClane and Hans Gruber meet. Alan Rickman knows he's not dealing with the stock character. He's dealing with the star of the movie at that point.
Yeah.
And it's cool when all the cops show up and they introduce the great Paul Gleason.
Well, here we are.
You know, one of the things I love is when they decide to, first of all, Paul Gleason doesn't believe anything that Reginald Vell Johnson is saying, or he's like, you don't know if you can believe this guy. For all we know, this guy's the terrorist.
Yeah, he could be one of them.
Yeah.
He could be jerking your chain.
He's the guy we need to hate throughout the movie. The audience does.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
But I love when they send in the SWAT guys, I guess. They're like, send in the guys. And they're all gung-ho. And I love when he goes,
kick ass.
And every time I see it, I laugh. They're ready to send in these SWAT guys. He says kick ass, and then as the SWAT guys are making themselves in, one of them gets held up on the rose bushes. Ow. Every time I see that, I laugh like, oh, these guys are such Keystone cops.
ow. But then they send in the RV.
They send in the car.
Yeah, send in the car.
Send in the car.
It's like, what? Wait, what car?
I think it's funny the way the editing is when the guy goes, send in the car, they cut to the car and it's on its way right then.
Yeah. But then the two German guys are up there with the rocket launcher. And this is where we get the...
Oh my god, the quarterback is toast.
Theo is so annoying, isn't he?
He just loves commenting. He's doing nothing but sitting in a room at the top of the building next to a drill.
Where did Hans Gruber find this guy? This
I don't know.
Annoying hacker guy who really has no empathy for other human beings.
He has as long as he gets his bearer bonds, he's happy.
He's a monster. But what's cool by then? Are you counting how many people that McClane has killed?
I've lost count by this point. He's well over 5.
Yeah, I know that Al, he's like...
Our spotters say you got 2 with that blast.
So it's like, damn, who are those spotters? They're pretty good, aren't they?
Why aren't the spotters killing those guys?
Yeah, do they have sniper rifles?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting. They have all these dynamics. You have John and you have Hans, but you also have the cops outside. You've got Argyle. You got Theo on the drill, and you've also got Thornburg too. By the way,
yeah, and it never loses its way.
Yeah, they're bringing up all this, and then they introduce the FBI agents.
I'm Agent Johnson. This is Special Agent Johnson.
Oh, how you doing?
No relation.
But I love how they're like so cocky about how they're handling everything. And that's exactly...
Yeah, they're so by the book and arrogant.
Yeah, and it turns out that's exactly what Hans is counting on, for them to to do everything that they do.
Well, we skipped all the way past the when McClane was trying to figure out what the hell Hans was up to.
Right.
And he goes up to the roof.
Yeah.
And Hans is up there also, and he introduces himself as Bill Clay.
Oh, yeah.
Hans learns so much about him right there in that he has no shoes.
Uh-huh.
But they handle this really well because they go from John looking at the exit and then looking at the glass, and then that's it. And they move. They flash bang. Another one of those stupid hockey pucks goes.
He's got a hockey puck. Another one.
And John McClane's gone, but he leaves the detonators behind. He crawled. John McClane pulls himself in the bathroom. His feet are bleeding like crazy.
When they show his feet slide in, it looks brutal, like how bloody his feet are. And I don't know why. I always think of he left tracks to where he is, but I guess all the terrorist guys are really busy right now.
Yeah, you would think that they would. Carl would stick around and track him.
Yeah, but honestly, all Carl had to do is walk through the door and follow the blood, and he could have killed him, couldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's pulling glass out of his feet.
He gives Al a hard time about why he's driving a desk, and he's like,
I shot a kid. You know, when you're a rookie, they can teach you everything about being a cop except how to live with a mistake.
What I love about this part of the movie is it establishes that Al never wants to have to pull his gun on a person again. He never wants to kill again. So maybe by the end of the movie, Al Powell will learn to take a human life again, and it'll be happy.
I really hope so.
Isn't that funny how we celebrate that he learns to kill again? It reminds me of Hot Shots. Miguel Ferry goes,
all these years fighting and shooting and killing, I can't go on.
You know, kitten, we all have permission to make mistakes. It's called learning.
Thank you, Topper. I can kill again. You've given me a reason to live.
Good.
So basically, Hans's idea is they've got the vault open, they've got all the stuff, and I believe they're going to take it all in an ambulance, right?
Yeah.
They're going to take all of the hostages to the roof and do an exchange with the FBI. But in reality, what they're going to do is blow the roof, killing the FBI agent and all the hostages, and escape in an ambulance. And they will spend a year sifting through the rubble. Man, he's got this shit all worked out, doesn't he?
He's amazing!
But, yeah, John goes up there and he's like, where's Holly?
Where is the vault?
The 30th floor! Up the stairs! They just took her!
Special Agent Johnson and other Agent Johnson, they're like, he's one of the terrorists firing on the hostages. So they have the great scene where the roof blows and it takes out the FBI guys. And
Gonna need some more FBI guys, I guess.
And they also, don't forget, Argyle downstairs sees Theo loading up the the ambulance.
Yeah, he pulls the ambulance out of that big box truck.
Right.
He's like, what the hell?
Don't you love that when he punches him, Theo goes like, oh, makes like this whimper sound? Okay, I want to talk about this scene because forever I've thought it was weird.
Okay.
It's when John McClane does a Jedi mind trick on Hans with his laugh. He does the... And he's like, and then they're all like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Let's all laugh. Yay.
So we have Hans crashing through the window. I do love this shot of Hans Gruber falling to his death.
And then they all kind of do that grimace, like, oh.
Ooh. You love that in movies. Okay, here's where I have a problem.
Uh-oh.
When Carl comes out, you hear a loud scream when they turn around before he's even revealed himself.
Okay, and here's my other problem. Why does he still have his gun?
He still has a machine gun.
Why did they not take the gun off of the body if they assumed it was dead?
And then we have Argyle return. He crashes through the gate, which he could have done a long time ago, couldn't he?
I don't think he wanted to damage the car, but now that it's damaged, he might as well just do it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the hell? And when Argyle comes crashing through the gates, I love how Al still has his gun. He's like turning around.
It's like, no, calm down, Al.
It's like, he's with me.
He's with me.
But I really love Die Hard, and I can watch it. Like, you and I were talking about great Christmas movies. Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. We may nitpick it and make fun of it, but that's just the joy of it in the growing old with the film.
I'm mostly nitpicking at the Huey Lewis guy, you know.
Get that finger out of your ear.
But, guys, we've traveled back to the year 1988 to visit Die Hard, and we hope you have all enjoyed this.
Bag it. Big time.